2 days to go to the Scottish referendum. It's too close to call, and two former chancellors, the leading figures in the No campaign, were trying to convince Labour voters not to be tempted by independence. Gordon Brown said that spending on the NHS in Scotland could be protected, even if a future Conservative government at Westminster wanted to cut it.
Do you think we, the Labour Party, who created the National Health Service, who built the National Health Service, who funded the National Health Service, who raised taxes in the United Kingdom to pay for the National Health Service, do you think we would ever stand by and allow the NHS to be privatised or cut in Scotland? Do you think we would ever allow the NHS not to have the powers in Scotland to protect itself? No.
The No campaign came here to Clydebank, traditionally a Labour town, but one which backed the SNP at the last Scottish elections to try to stop the drift towards independence in areas like this. Then not just Ed Miliband, but David Cameron and Nick Clegg came the closest they could to setting out in blood a pledge to give the Scottish Parliament more powers. They published this vow in a Labour-supporting newspaper. The party leaders say the Scottish Parliament is permanent and will have extensive new powers, that the UK will share resources equitably across all four nations, and that the Barnett formula will continue. This complex formula came into being back in the 70s and results in Scotland spending more per head of the population on public services than England. But at Westminster there are fears amongst some that the price of keeping Scotland in the UK might just be too high.
If Scotland is going to have its own tax-raising powers, if they can choose their own level of income tax, then of course we in England will want to choose our level of income tax. It won't necessarily be the same as Scotland's, and we don't need Scottish MPs helping us make that decision.
Back in Scotland, a former Lib Dem leader took to the campaign trail. He feels the No campaign should have been more positive sooner.
It was absolutely essential that the critical searching questions were asked from the outset on the currency, for example, on Europe, on NATO, on defence. I mean, these are the big, big questions. And here we are, 48 hours before polling day, and nobody with their hand on their heart can say that they've got a definitive answer.
Many of the shipyards have gone from Clydeside now, but the No campaign believes it's voters in areas like this that could decide the result of Thursday's referendum. Ian Watson, BBC News, Clydebank.